As always, these practices, we start by sitting ourselves upright, getting a nice bit of space in our tummy, feeling that gratitude in our hearts. And to set these double breaths up, first we allow our eyes to close and we take a deep breath in through the nostrils. We pause at the top just for a second, and then we open our mouth wide like a long R breath exhale, like a long sigh. That empties the breath all the way down until you feel the tummy pull in. Then we close the mouth, breathe these 2 short, sharp inhales through the nose. Open the mouth. 2 more like this. Big inhale through the nose. And an R breath to clear. Pausing at the bottom. We've got this moment or two in between our sets of double breath, where you can just start to feel the vibration and the energy that you've stirred up with these dynamic breaths. Centered around the belly, centered around that core area of us, where all that juicy energy is stored up. And we start our second round. Big inhale through the nose. Fill up all the way to the crown of the head. Long R breath exhale. Emptying until you feel the tummy button pull in towards the spine. And charging from that point, we count our 3 double breaths. Big inhale through the nose. Little pause. And an R breath to clear. Like steam escaping from a valve, releasing that pressure. Feeling that juicy pause at the bottom of the exhale for just a few seconds before we take our next big inhale through the nose. R breath. Charging, and then we count our 3. Big inhale through the nose. And an R breath. Perfect timing for that bell. Bringing the hands to the heart. Palms together. And we've got our balanced breath with our arm raises. So keeping the eyes closed. It's an inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5. And drawing exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. To pause at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, stretching up. Maybe a little bit taller this time. To pause at the top. And exhaling back down. To pause at the bottom. Movement and breath, inhaling up, deliciously intertwined, and each inhale maybe getting a little bit taller, stretching a little bit higher, opening those shoulders, feeling that tightness at the top, and then exhaling, easing back down. So you pause at the bottom. And again, inhaling. And exhaling. Breathing in, stretching tall, feeling these shoulders spread broad, opening up. Maybe you can lift the gaze a little bit. And then exhaling, easing back down. And maybe the head drops, the chin drops at the bottom of the exhale. Feel that little stretch on the back of the neck. So following your flow of breath and movement, getting comfortable with this pace and this rhythm. Each time you're hanging out at the top or the bottom, getting used to those pauses, becoming very present. And that bell allows us to release our control of the breath, release our hands down so they come down onto our knees, palms facing up. Maybe the tip of the index finger and the tip of the thumb touch together. This hand shape is known as Gyan Mudra. Index finger relates to the mind, so reconnecting that energy loop turns the mind back in on itself. This mudra really internalizes our awareness. So as we sit in this still space, we can really begin to become aware of what's going on the inside. Noticing the feeling of the breath as it starts to tease its way back in, however subtly. Noticing any heat in the body or any stiffness that might have been woken up and moved through. And noticing any ripples in the mind that have been shaken up and brought to the surface by the dynamic breath and the movement practice. And having carried that energy of gratitude and excitement and confidence, really feeling that as it's resonating through the whole practice, and bringing it into the whole body. This feeling that emanates from our heart center and expands out to our extremities on that pulse and that flow of the breath. Enjoying this juicy, quiet space that we've created with our movement and our breath, and a little bit of stillness. And that final bell closes our practice, brings the palms together in front of the heart, thumbs press into the sternum, chin drops towards the chest. And again, that gesture, that mudra, palms together, balances, centers, and reconnects to that feeling of gratitude. Not just for how wonderful life is, but also for our capacity to practice, for the gift of self-care that you're giving, for the lineage of yogis over the last 7,000 years that have passed all of these to us.